There have been a few times in my life where I thought I was athletic. This is not one of them. In grade 9, each student participates in a regional track meet as part of the curriculum. We were bused to the lively center of Provost, Alberta, population 1,800, so that we could prove who was the best in the region. Each of us had a requirement of competing in 5 different events. Training was harsh. It took dedication and commitment. I took the Mario Lemieux method that was not so well publicized, where he stopped putting gravy on his fries as he prepared for the hockey season's training camp. Yes, even though he went head to head with one of my idols, who wore 99, we could still be kindred spirits. To choose 5 events, I needed to find something that I felt I had an opportunity to compete in. This pretty much eliminated speed races or anything where you fought gravity. High jump, that was way out. 100 meters, not a chance. Triple jump, really? I'm expected to run, then hop, then skip, and then jump? That sounds like 4 things all at once, and I am not good at any of them. Knowing my limited skill, I resigned myself to the events where I stood a chance. The discus, javelin, and shot put. These were all shoe-ins. Now I need to find a couple others. In reviewing the options on how full the event was, I noticed that the long jump only had 2 competitors. I was like, yes, guaranteed podium finish. Sign me up. One more discipline to register for, and things were not looking good. More than 3 participants in everything, and some students who thought that excelling here would provide them a full ride scholarship to somewhere else. Because there's a lot of people scouting grade 9 track and field athletes in rural Alberta at that time. It was finally settled. I needed a running event. I chose the 400. 1 lap around the track. What could that harm? It was a long distance, so hopefully my side wouldn't hurt. It wasn't so short that getting out of the starting blocks could quickly make or break the race. The 400 meters, it had my commitment. The day was designed with the throwing events first and my long jump shortly after. By 10:30 in the morning, I was done 4 events, gathered a couple of 3rd place finishes, and 2 brown ribbons for participation. My final event wasn't until 2 o'clock, and I learned it was considered by some to be one of the biggest events of the day. I had lots of time off. A bunch of us got together for lunch. There's a food truck serving the carnival delights. I assume in the late 1980s, hot dogs, hamburgers, and chips were considered health food because those were the top selling items. I had a bag lunch, which I consumed, but was missing the beverage. The good old greasy bun wagon had the answer. Chocolate milk. 1 liter, $2. Consider it a deal. There are 2 hours until my big 400 meter race. Lots of times to get it through my system. Besides, I was an athlete that day. And isn't chocolate milk designed for a quick recovery? Lunch down, chocolate milk emptied, and vegetating in a shady place. It was 12:20, and the call of fear came. They were ahead of schedule and liked to run the 400 meters in 5 minutes. Really? Then the thought occurred. It doesn't really matter when they run it. My chances are about the same. Being more of a upper body athlete, I chose to wear sweatpants throughout the day, as my legs really didn't need to warm up or cool down. This allowed me to pin my ribbons on my sweatpants, eliminating the fear of a ribbon coming up into my face as I ran. Because everybody knows a ribbon cut takes forever to heal. We were called to the line. I was second from the outside. I felt like I had a slight lead with the staggered starting blocks. The gun sounded. Just then, I took the first few steps and wondered about strategy. This is a whole lap around the track. Do I give it for all I'm worth initially and risk burning out early? Do I pace myself? Those trivial concerns were quickly erased when, as the lane straightened out around the curve, everyone who had an inside position on me was now either beside me or ahead. So much for staggering the track and equalizing the starting field. I kicked it into my highest gear thinking, if I can push hard for the last 300 meters of this race, I just gotta give her. I rounded the second corner and two things happened. First, I could see that I was last, as everyone else had crossed the finish line. I had about 120 meters to go. I knew I was not going to nationals. Second, the chocolate milk in my tummy was yelling at me, screaming and asking, what did I do? And why are you trying to make chocolate butter churning in my tummy? At this point, I hit my wall. The teaspoon of motivation to compete was exhausted, and my body was rejecting the recently chugged fluids. 60 meters to go. I could do it, holding my breath and putting together a fast trot. I felt like I was running for my life in quicksand. I had a short look down and a new reality hit me. My ribbons from earlier in the day, pinned to my sweatpants, were essentially pointed straight down. I was creating absolutely no wind speed. Wow, the last 20 meters I pushed through and got there just in time to clear the track before the next heat. The shady spot soon welcomed me. I curled up in the fetal position and waited until my body normalized. I will say, although not a scientific test, I had no cramping the next day. My muscles were fine. The chocolate milk used after a workout, that theory must have some value. The timekeeper told me later that she wrote down that I finished only 10 seconds later than the 5th place finisher when she handed me my participation ribbon. I will be forever grateful for her compassion.